Welcome back to the channel. Today I am buying another truck. So we got this 2006 F-250 into the junkyard, and I'm gonna get this for 2,500 bucks. I got that 6.4 for 2,500 bucks, or 28, something around there. But this thing has 200, I think, and 76,000 miles. I had the jump box on it. The batteries are dead. So what the issue with this thing is supposed to be is it's supposed to have a fuel system issue, which these do have bad issues with the fuse box. It pretty much pops the internal relay or fuse or something inside the fuse box that's under the dash, and then you don't have the fuel pump turning on. It starves from fuel because it doesn't pump it up to, or the lift pump doesn't pump fuel up to the fuel filter housing. But also there is a bunch of oil on the top of the hood. So this coupler could be blown, the turbo could be bad. It could have a melted piston because of excessive blow-by. It looks like the EGR cooler is still on it. It still has a whole EGR system. It has this AFE intake, so it looks pretty new because it's just dusty, but it's pretty clean. And it has this brand new radiator in it. That's probably, it doesn't look like it has any, stuff built up in it. So it's probably, less than 10,000 miles old. So they must have been putting some money in it. I did throw a jump box on it, so it did sound like the injectors were all clicky clacky, which is a really good sign. Could have new injectors, could not. Not exactly sure. I'm gonna probably end up having to pull the cab on this thing, but let's first charge these batteries all the way up, see if we can get her to crank over, because if she cranks over and sounds decent, maybe I could get it to start on ether and see how much blow-by there is. But yeah, we'll see what happens. Also, another thing is the coolant reservoir looks like she is maybe a little bit low, and there's a gallon of coolant in the back of the bed. So it's obviously probably burning coolant, which could be the EGR cooler. Sometimes they get pinholes, but it depends on how long this has been going on. And sometimes these caps go bad. So either the EGR cooler or you put a brand new cap, and these bottles also go bad. So usually it's a good idea to just replace a bottle with a brand new cap and then replace that EGR cooler, which I do have a bulletproof one I'll probably throw on here just so it's 100%, maybe so it's 100% emissions compliant. I just hooked the battery charger up. It looks like the battery has 8.9, 9.6. It's kind of fluctuating volts. We'll turn her on. I really like this battery charger, so I'll put a link in the description for this. And I have the jump box charging over there. I was hesitant to buy them for so long, but it is very nice being able to have a nice battery charger. This one does AGM as well as lithium batteries, and then just the standard, whatever the other one's called, but really does a good job. I've charged all these other batteries and just keep them charged, which is really nice to have charged up batteries. I was thinking I probably could take some of these batteries up there, but I'll just charge these ones. They look like they're pretty new. They're 12 of 18. Actually, whew, that's quite a while ago now. So may need new batteries, but we'll try to charge both of them up. If I could get both of them to hold the charge, and this will show me once they're finished to 100%. But yeah, I'll throw the link in the description for both of those, battery charger and the jump box. Let's get these charged up. Batteries are now charged. What I'm gonna do is try to start it, and hopefully she starts without starting fluid. And then if not, I'll throw some starting fluid on it. If it still doesn't start, I'm gonna check the fuel filter to see if there's one in there, because if there's not, it won't actually put fuel in. I think there's like a relief valve or something, so it won't let you actually run without a filter. But yeah, let's try to start this baby up. Hopefully, I doubt it's gonna start because they had to just charge the batteries to see. But let's see what she does.
Good ivermectin and hydro.
276 miles. I mean, it doesn't sound horrible. Let's give her some juice. Clean that filter. That's how you clean them. Oh, almost. Doesn't really want to start. The oil pressure gauge isn't moving. I'm gonna check the oil. check the oil. It is pretty low. It's barely on the dipstick. So I'm gonna throw some oil in it, and you can see there's oil on the top of the hood. So she's leaking from somewhere. Hopefully she will start. I'm not exactly why it doesn't show oil pressure. Maybe the sensor is unplugged. I'm not exactly sure. I think the oil pressure sensor is like right there, but it looks like it's plugged in. So let's try throwing some oil in her. It wasn't quite getting to the, it wasn't quite making it there with the filter. So I pulled this elbow off. And now what I'm gonna do is try to stir her up, spray some in here. I probably need both hands really quick. All right, let's see if she'll go. Woo! Oil pressure. Oh, it's running. It's running. Oh, it's running. Woo! She runs. Not bad. Let's see if she'll restart. Fires right up. Oh my God. $2,500 truck. She runs. Oh man, I am speechless. Speechless. Hell yeah, let's maybe we have a restriction. Let's put this back on and see if she'll still run. Because I think I'm having the same issue with my van. I have like a restriction and it's collapsing. The van's is a silicone coupler, but it has a weird bend like this, but it collapses it. So maybe this had a restriction. Or maybe the turbo's bad with all that oil and it's not letting enough air go in. Woo! Ooh, she sounds not too bad. So the blow-by doesn't even look that bad. My old 6-liter, same amount of blow-by. I think we're good to go. I'm gonna clean some stuff up on this thing, but I'm really happy. Need to change the oil, new dipstick, clean all this stuff up, remount the batteries, probably new coolant reservoir cap, make sure she's not, you know, burning coolant. New coupler over there, I'm sure that's where all that oil's coming from. And we'll kind of just figure it out, but this thing just needs a real good clean. Look how grimy the seats are. These are supposed to be gray. They're supposed to be like that color right there. Gross. So let's turn her off. She definitely needs an oil change, but hell yeah, what a come up. The 6-liter moved over to the shop now, and what I'm gonna do is clean this up. So I got her running, starts right up. Was funny, it was just low on oil. It even fires up really nice without starting fluid. The batteries are still weak. Hopefully they'll start to charge. I'll probably actually put it back on the charger. But what I'm gonna do first is clean this engine bay. So as a normal occurrence with clapped out diesel trucks, I have bought quite a few of them. People do not like to maintain these for some reason. Even though they pay a lot of money initially for them, I'm not exactly sure what the deal is. I guess I'm kind of the same way with my truck, but I do maintain it. I change the oil, you know, I put new tires on it, I put new brakes on it when it needs it, but you know, I still need to paint that stuff. I just haven't had time. So on this truck, it needs new tires. I need to clean the wheels up. It also must have had a blowout because the one wheel that matches on the other side is underneath. That's a spare. So let's get to cleaning the engine bay first. I'm gonna do my trick. You can see the before right here, and I'm gonna just use the the really aggressive oven cleaner. They sell it at Sam's Club. It's like the industrial stuff. It's very aggressive, so just be very careful with it. But yeah, I'll get all this stuff, all this gunk off the hood like it did on the 6.4. I'm probably gonna stay away from getting it on the aluminum radiator because it will etch this radiator, but I'll get it pretty much all over the rest of everything else. You can see how dirty and grimy it is. I'll just kind of go over it. After I'm done with that, I'll clean the interior. I'll focus on that after I'm done with this. And I need to put a new coolant. I probably don't need a new coolant bottle, but I'll put a brand new coolant bottle cap and clean the air filter as well as oil it, change the oil. But I probably will wait to change the oil because I want to make sure that it doesn't have a oil cooler issue or something like that, which it doesn't seem like it does because it started up pretty nice once I charged the batteries. But I do want to change the oil. I might just go ahead and change it, but let's get to cleaning this, as well as the interior is very bad. I should be able to get most of this out. It's just, it was used as a work truck. So I have my pressure washer here. I have my steam cleaner, which I'll put the link in the description for the steam cleaner, but it'll get all of this gunk and everything off of the seats. You can see how bad these are. This is what it looked like before. Actually, it probably looked better than that before, but this is all just sweat. Sweat is what that usually is. It's pretty gross. So, and I guess that's probably some grease, but it's mostly probably sweat, which is really disgusting. But yeah, let's clean her up and get her looking like brand new again. the F250 pretty clean. So the engine is very nice and clean. Most likely gonna need new batteries. They're already pretty much dead. And I think it's just because they're 2018s and they're not the AGMs. They're kind of the cheap batteries. They're probably not meant to last that long, and they're made in Korea, so who knows. But clean the filter, clean the engine bay. This is day and night. As you guys remember, the top of the hood was just caked in oil, and I need to replace this coupler. So this coupler has a hole right there, and that's why there was all this oil and everything right there. I also need to still change the oil on this thing, but she is very clean. It makes a big difference when you get a truck and then you are trying to sell it or something. Somebody comes and looks at it, they see all that oil, they're like, what is the deal with this thing? Is there any issues? It's surprising that this thing doesn't have very much blow by. It has, I think, less blow by than my old F250, and my old F250 had less miles on it. So, 6 liters and 7.3s technically have more blow by than the newer 6.7s and the 6.4s, just because they are built a little bit looser because they're a little bit older. But you make up for that with the boost. Also, I still need to connect this clamp, but I'm not too worried about it. And I still need to get a new bottle and a bottle, or overflow and an overflow cap. This is always a good idea, especially when you get an unknown 6 liter, because these caps always go bad, and sometimes these bottles go bad. And this looks like one of the bottles that actually separates, and there was some residue. So I don't know if it was from the cap or from the bottle. Both of them are cheap. I think actually the bottle comes with a cap. So pretty much it's nice to have this all nice and clean. It does have that aftermarket radiator. I'm not exactly sure the brand on that, but that will keep these things cooler. And it also has the tranny stuff in it, so it'll be additionally cooler for the transmission. When I was towing my 6 liter through Death Valley at night, it didn't feel that hot, but there's like no air movement, and I could feel the heat coming out of the tranny tunnel when I was driving that, when I went and picked up the FD. So that radiator might resolve that issue. It didn't do anything, but it was kind of concerning because there's always these issues in Death Valley. I thought the steamer was gonna work a little bit better. I was gonna put the link in the description, but I'm not going to. It's not a good product. I don't want you guys to buy it and be as mad as I am. I'm not really that mad, but I'm just kind of disappointed. It doesn't build enough pressure. It only pretty much gets to like the very bottom of the yellow, and it never gets in the red, so it never produces enough steam. But I used it a little bit. It did kind of work on the vents and stuff. You can still see there's kind of some crud in there. Usually steamers, they blast all that stuff out of there. But I did hit the whole dash with some VLR, so it looks really nice. And I cleaned all of the human juices, or the buildup of sweat and skin cells, off of the steering wheel. So now it's not sticky anymore. It looks really nice. Don't have to worry. So what I'm going to do next time, since I'm kind of running out of time and I am going to SEMA tomorrow for 2 days, I am going to clean this up because I still need to go home, change the oil. I want to change the oil in my truck. I'm flying there, but I want to get the oil changed in my truck. And I'm getting the spark plug wires for the 300ZX, so I want to put those on so she runs again. But yeah, in the next video, I will clean all of this sweat. Pretty much the same stuff that was on the steering wheel is in the seat. You pretty much just use some, usually the steamers work on that very well too. It kind of worked on this thing. This thing is kind of broke, so I'll probably get another one anyway. I might actually get another pair of seats or set of seats because these are pretty grimy. Maybe even a carpet. We'll see how clean it comes with some carpet cleaner. Usually these come out pretty nice. The seats aren't the best, but this truck does have 275 something thousand miles, and it's not really, it's a work truck is what it is. I mean, it's not, whoever buys it should have the realization that they're buying a work truck and not something that's going to be like, $20,000 6 liter or, $15,000 6 liter. It's pretty much a cheap truck. I might put new tires on these wheels. I'm not sure if I really like them. They're all right, but I might just upgrade to some other wheels. The suspension looks all good. It has new shocks all the way around, and it also has a death wobble stabilizer. Because these have issues with death wobble. Mine had it a few times, and it's just kind of scary. So It's really nice that it has that on there. But we have the front of the truck all cleaned up. Most of the outside, I pretty much need to run this thing through the car wash, and pretty much gonna leave it at that. Clean the interior, run it through the car wash, and I need to change the oil in this thing and do a few little things, probably grease all of these bushings. So down here, it has all brand new arms, as well as the bushings in these arms, as well as the Bilstein shocks all the way around. So I'm gonna end the video here. I'm really happy that this truck turned out better than I thought it was going to be, because when I bought it, I thought it had a bad piston, but it is really, really nice, runs great, starts up when the batteries are charged. But I'm gonna end the video here. If you like these videos, click the subscribe button, thumbs up, comment below. As always, see you guys next time.